everyone, this is SF Ninja, and I'm finishing off my Mulholland Highway video that I started a couple weeks back. So I'm about to pass the rock store. Not as crowded today. It's really funny. It's really strange. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's everyone's off doing Christmas shopping, but there hasn't been any traffic on the roads like on PCH. And very little motorcycle traffic, for that matter. So what am I listening to right now? I'm listening to the theme to The Sopranos. It's an awesome song for riding to. Today I'm going to talk about whose fault is it? There's some kind of an incident, and my friend Chad and I were talking about this the other day. He's the guy who aced the MSF test, and we both kind of agree that if something happens while you're riding, you should pretty much most of the time assume that it's your fault. Even if it is somebody else's fault, I guess it's your job as the motorcyclist to be watching up ahead and paying attention and evaluating all the possibilities so that you can in the time you've got. So if something happens, you might, if you survive it, you might look back and see where you could have avoided it and what started that chain of events that caused the accident. There's a mechanical failure, and you didn't check your tires, controls, lights and electrics and oil and coolant. You didn't check your chain and chassis. You didn't check your stands, center stand if you have one. Didn't clean your mirrors. I mean, there's all kinds of things that you have to do pre-flight. So if something goes wrong mechanically, in a sense, you can also argue that it's your fault. I guess that guy must be a motorcyclist in his car. Give me a wave. So I guess, yeah, we were talking about that. We said, yeah, you have to assume that everything is going to be your fault if you're riding a motorcycle. Even if the driver hits you, if you get hit by a car and the driver was talking on the cell phone, or blow drying their hair, or eating a donut, drinking coffee, not watching where they were going, even if that's the case, you have to be responsible yourself for watching out for those kinds of threats. It's no different from like a tire sitting in the middle of the road, or an oil spill. So because the responsibility for detecting threats is up to you, I kind of like to think of everything as being my fault if something goes wrong when I'm riding a motorcycle. Obviously, there's some situations that are probably completely unavoidable and unpredictable, but 99% of things you can probably avoid yourself with a little foresight and anticipation. I'm listening to Third Eye Blind, Sunnytown Light. What I found is listening to really lightweight pop songs that have a steady beat is actually very beneficial for my concentration. Because if the music is like too complex or deep, I almost never listen to orchestral music, classical music, because when I listen to classical music, I end up really listening and picking out different parts and analyzing it and breaking it down. And of course, I don't really have the mind share to do that when I'm riding a motorcycle. So the lighter, fluffier the music is, the more likely I can, the easier it is for me to concentrate. And at the same time, it puts me into sort of a focused kind of trance state where I can really think about what I'm doing. There was a few motorcycles today, but not nearly as many as I saw last week. Close call the other day. There's this section of freeway, it's called the Santa Monica Freeway, or the 10, and the part of it that's east of the 405 freeway has a really, really bad lane number 1, where it's got this huge groove and the pavement gets uneven unexpectedly. And I was riding the other night with like 3 layers of shirts to keep warm, and even that was almost not enough to stay warm. But anyway, I was riding in lane 1 of the 10, and I was going at a moderate speed, and the road took a very slight curve, like a really gentle curve. It was almost straight. But the pavement suddenly gave way to this totally rough stuff. It just turned into this very chopped up kind of pavement. And the bike immediately started going into a front wheel wobble. The whole bike just started to wobble again. But it wasn't as violent as the one I had when I actually went down. But there was enough to annoy the hell out of me and make me worry a little bit. So I said, oh shit, and then I released the grips gently, very slowly, and just eased off and sort of put a little more weight on my feet. And I let the bike, so I did the shoulder check, and then just let the bike go straight out into the lane number 2, basically towards the outside of the turn. And as soon as it hit the good pavement in lane number 2, the bike stabilized. So it was a little scary too, because it was at night. So I kind of sworn off of riding that freeway at night anyway. It's also really cold, so it takes longer for the tires to warm up. But in general, I used to think that riding at night would be safer with less traffic, but it's not that case anymore. The faster you go, the more you're overriding your headlight, and the less you see things like that. So that could have been bad. So it's the 3rd time I've had a wobble, but this one didn't develop into a full-blown tank slapper.